5 Greek myths that would make better movies than the Odyssey. The Odyssey is a genuinely great story, no argument there. But here's the thing. Greek mythology is such a bottomless treasure chest that it holds sagas even wilder, even more visual, and even more purely cinematic than the journey of Odysseus. Stories with monsters, love, betrayal, and spectacle built right into them. And honestly, I don't fully understand why Hollywood hasn't already filmed most of them. So today, here are 5 Greek myths that absolutely should be the next big blockbuster, and I'll tell you now. Number 1 is practically begging for the Christopher Nolan treatment. Let's count them down. We're counting down from 5 all the way to number 1, saving the single most cinematic story of them all for last. And at the very end, I really want you to tell me down in the comments which one of these you would most want to see up on the big screen, because who knows, maybe a studio executive somewhere is actually scrolling and listening. Stranger things have happened. Let's kick off the countdown at number 5 with a story of a maze and a monster. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Number 5. Theseus and the Labyrinth. Picture this: a remote island, a vast inescapable maze built beneath a palace, and lurking somewhere deep within it, a monster that is half man and half bull, the Minotaur. Every year, a group of young people is sent into that labyrinth as human sacrifice, and none of them ever come out alive. Then the hero Theseus volunteers to go in, determined to end it. Before he enters, the king's daughter secretly gives him a simple ball of thread, which he unspools behind him to mark his path through the twisting corridors. Deep in the maze, he finds and kills the Minotaur, and then follows the thread back out to freedom. Think about what that already is: claustrophobic, nerve-shredding tension, a genuinely terrifying monster, a secret forbidden romance, and a brilliantly clever escape. This isn't just a myth. It's a ready-made thriller screenplay, just waiting to be shot. Number 4. Jason and the Argonauts. A band of the greatest heroes in the world, all crammed onto a single ship, chasing one impossible treasure across the edges of the known world, the legendary Golden Fleece. Along the way, they face down fire-breathing dragons, seductive and deadly queen witches, terrifying winged creatures, and, in one unforgettable image, an army of skeleton warriors that springs fully armed straight out of the ground. This is, quite literally, history's very first team-up adventure, a whole crew of legendary characters, each with their own skills, united for one dangerous quest. It is the direct ancestor of every superhero ensemble film you've ever seen. A ship full of legends, one impossible mission, endless spectacle. It's a cinematic goldmine that Hollywood has barely touched. Number 3. Perseus and Medusa. The target is a monster whose very gaze turns any living thing that looks at her instantly to stone. A creature with a face of horror and a head crawling with living, hissing snakes instead of hair. Medusa. The young hero Perseus is sent on the near-suicidal mission to kill her and bring back her head. To stand any chance, he gathers a set of incredible tools: winged sandals to fly, a cap that grants invisibility, and a brilliantly polished shield. And here's the genius of it. He can't look at Medusa directly without being turned to stone, so he approaches her using only her reflection in his mirror-bright shield, and strikes without ever meeting her deadly eyes. Then, in the ultimate twist, he takes that severed head and uses it as a weapon, turning his own enemies to stone. It's visually breathtaking, endlessly tense, and a perfect hero's journey. Hollywood, what are you waiting for? Number 2. Orpheus and the Underworld. This one is a love story, and is the single most heartbreaking tale in all of Greek mythology. Orpheus is the greatest musician who ever lived, and his beloved wife dies suddenly, torn from him far too soon. Shattered by grief, he does the unthinkable. He travels down into the underworld itself, into the land of the dead, to beg for her back. And his music is so unbearably beautiful that it moves even the cold god of death to tears. He's granted one single fragile chance. His wife may follow him back up to the world of the living, but on one condition: he must not look back at her, not even once, until they have both reached the surface. And so he climbs, with her footsteps behind him, trusting, agonizing, almost there. And at the very last moment, at the threshold of the light, he cannot bear it. He turns to look, and she is gone, pulled back into death forever. Love, music, and devastating, irreversible loss. It's an art house masterpiece just waiting to be made. And number one, the one that is, perhaps, the most Nolan story of them all. Daedalus is a brilliant inventor, a genius of his age, and he and his young son Icarus are imprisoned together, locked away in a high tower with no possible way out, no door, no key, no escape by land or sea. So Daedalus does the impossible. He studies the birds, and he builds 2 sets of wings out of feathers bound together with wax. Father and son will simply fly out of their prison, straight into the open sky. But before they leap, Daedalus gives his son one crucial, desperate warning: fly neither too low, where the sea's damp will weigh the feathers down, nor too high, where the sun's heat will melt the wax. Fly the middle path. But young Icarus, intoxicated by the sheer impossible joy of flight, forgets the warning. He climbs higher and higher toward the sun. The wax melts, the feathers scatter, and he falls from the sky into the sea below and drowns. A genius father, a revolutionary technology, a fatal moment of hubris, and a devastating fall. It is the most powerful metaphor about human ambition ever written. Nolan needs to make this film. So there they are, all 5. A monster in a labyrinth, an epic treasure hunt, a hero facing a creature of stone, a love story that descends into death itself, and a genius's tragic fall from the sky. The Odyssey is magnificent, without a doubt, but Greek mythology as a whole is only just warming up, barely scratching the surface. There are dozens upon dozens more stories, every bit this cinematic and this powerful, still waiting in the wings for someone to finally tell them. So tell me, which of these 5 should Hollywood film first? Put your vote in the comments, and whichever myth gets the most requests, I'll cover it in a full, in-depth video next. If you love these ancient legends as much as I clearly do, then subscribe, because there is so much more still left to uncover and dig up. This was only the beginning. I'll see you in the very next one.